Well, I think the main change has been the development of the site that we have here. Starting here, we've just developed this side of the clinic. We now have an X-ray room with an X-ray donated by the RSPCA. We've got some larger holding cages for both dogs and cats. We've got a roofing structure over the whole clinic. We've also got at the back the boarding kennels and the cattery. So for people who are living on the island, if they're going on holiday or just away for a few days a week, they can leave the animals with us. Obviously the benefit is our vets are all living on site, so there's 24-hour care all the time for them.
How important is the X-ray clinic? That's a major addition, yeah?
It's huge. I mean, a lot of the animals that we have coming in, obviously mostly strays, if there are broken bones or other injuries, sometimes you don't know what's happened. People just bring them in and say, I found a dog like this, or it was hit by a car, to take it to another clinic or somewhere else on the island and get it X-rayed and bring it back. There's a lot of trauma for the animal, a lot of pain, and it can be fatal. Having it on site, it's quick, it's easy. We can solve problems quicker.
It's not part of your mobile clinic then? You have an X-ray?
It's not. No, it's not a mobile one. It's one of the things that we'd like to have. It's on our ever-expanding wish list, but at the moment it's just a static one that we have here.
Yeah. And you've got qualified staff and vets to use it?
We do, yeah. Yeah, all of our 3 vets and our technician are all qualified. I mean, qualified through Whisper as well. They've had full training on how to use all the equipment, the X-ray as well as all the other equipment that they have here.
And they live here as well? Because it's like a house. It started out as a house.
Yeah, it did start off as someone's house at some point. We've got an awesome landlord who loves what we're doing, fully supports it and says, crack on. So, yeah, the rooms are just at the back. So the vets, we've been on site for 3 years. They live on site. This is their home as well as their work.
Obviously home to a lot of cats and dogs here. How many have you got here now?
Off the top of my head, couldn't tell you, but you can see we've got quite a few. This is actually quite quiet for us at the moment. With all the refurb, we've been trying to keep the numbers down. Just obviously it's better for the animals. The boarding kennels are usually full. I think we've got 8 kennels for the dogs, but they're big enough for 2 or 3 dogs each. For the cattery, we've got 8 cages as well. Once these are all done, we can have about 20 or 30 dogs, and the same again with cats as well, which is predominantly for the strays.
Proportion-wise, cats or dogs? Is that 50-50?
It depends. It changes. I mean, I want to say 70-30 dogs and cats, but it could be the next week it could be different. So it does chop and change.
Now, are these mainly strays, or are they pets that people have brought in for normal sort of other operations? Treatment, repairs,
it's mostly the stray animals that we're dealing with. Again, whether they're just brought in sort of by our volunteers or just people on the street, or sometimes they'll phone us up and say there's some animals here, can you help out? Or if it's an organised field clinic and we're bringing them back either to be sterilised or further treatments. So it's the majority of the animals that we deal with are the strays that are on the streets.
Do you really encourage people to bring the strays here, or would you prefer they kind of look after them as pets and bring them here for, say, operations or
There's 2 sides to it. One is, I mean, yes, we would love people to take in the strays as their own and keep them as their pets. And we try and impart that idea into people, but it's difficult to get people to say that take a stray in and have it as your pet. What we'd like to do, and the primary objective of paws, is to sterilise all of the street animals in Phuket. That's the first way of maintaining and controlling the population. Now, whether that means they bring them here to be sterilised and then re-released, or whether we organise a field clinic in a given location, which is often what happens. Somebody phones up and says, there's a lot of dogs in my area, what can you do? We'll liaise with them for a few days in the local orbitals and set up a field clinic, and all of a sudden you've got 40 or 50 animals that have now all been sterilised in a given area, but we haven't necessarily had to bring them all back here. What we can use this for is if there's complications, or if there's another injury or other issues that need to be resolved, we can bring them back here for sort of further treatment.
So if operation is the main focus, do you need more money, and how are you going to raise that money to achieve more facilities for, say, operating or...
Yeah, it's a charity, and like any charity, they always need money. As you can see, we've done an awful lot of work in the last year alone, and that's come off the back of our previous fundraisers. So what we're trying to get paws to do is to move on the road to self-sufficiency, which is the road any charity should be aiming to get onto. So we're asking people to, instead of taking their pets to other clinics, to come and use the paws clinic. We've got fully qualified vets on site, we've got all the equipment, the x-ray state of the art, and by coming here and donating to paws for the work that's done here, all of that money, all of that revenue gets put back into the field clinics to help keep up the work on the streets. And
people would pay, or would they donate for those services?
we're asking people to donate for the services, and whether it's to use the boarding kennels or for operations or just for checkups and treatments, whatever, to make a donation, and again that money goes back into the objectives of paws.
You have an annual fundraiser event coming up, which is quite good fun.
Yeah, it's
That's your main event, isn't it?
it is indeed. It's at the end of every year. This year it's the Royal Ascot at Laguna, so we've gone for the whole Royal Ascot theme. It's a fundraiser, but we try and say it's a party night, it's a fun night. We want to get lots of people together, have a good time, and have a couple of drinks, enjoy the live band, buy some raffle tickets, enjoy the auction. This year, because we've got the Royal Ascot theme, we'll have 2 big screens with some horse racing on it, so it's just going to be great fun.
What date is that?
It's the 11th of October, and it's going to be up at Laguna.
So people should book up in advance?
Yeah, I would take tickets now if you can. We've got 2 tickets starting from 2,500, and it includes champagne reception, buffet dinner, the live band, everything. And so,
Can they bring their pets?
we'd love to do a function where you could just... We're going to have a couple of horses on site anyway, so
Really?
we are indeed, yeah. So, yeah, that's the inside scoop.
But if they want to bring their dogs or maybe cats?
Sadly, not on this particular occasion. I would love to have a function where we could do that, but not on this one.
But if they want details of that, obviously look at your website or telephone you.
They can call us either on 076 264 504. Our website's www.pawsphuket.com, and all the information is there.
Your old one was Phuket-animal-welfare.com? Yeah.
That's the old site, but it still links to the new one, so they're both active.
And you still welcome volunteers or schools come and visit, or you
Yeah.
can come and visit them, perhaps?
Both. I mean, we do quite a lot in terms of the education side. We have a lot of international students, anywhere from the UK, Europe, Australia and America, coming to spend a week, 10 days with our vets. We also work closely with the local international schools. Some of the sort of senior students come and help out once a week. And we also work with some of the Thai schools as well, getting their students to come in here and just help to see what the vets do, work with the animals and see how it really is. We also go and do presentations to some of the schools as well.
So obviously with bigger groups of people, it's best to ring up in advance. And
Yeah, I mean,
you are open 24 hours a day here.
we're not open 24 hours. The clinic itself is open Monday through Friday, 9 till 6, and from 9 till 1 on a Saturday. Other than that, the clinic is technically closed, but the vets are always on site. If there are emergencies, they can always call through to the numbers, and there's always someone at the end of it. Just